This is the delayed LFO algorithm, new in disting mk4 version 4.6. This is a feature that is often found on old polysynths where an LFO will gradually ramp up each time a note is triggered. If I just play one, you can kind of get the idea. So the inputs and outputs are: X is the trigger, Y is a CV for the rate of the ramp, A and B are outputs, which are switchable between a number of things, including the actual ramp, the LFO scaled by the ramp, or just LFOs unaffected by the ramp. This is actually quite a useful LFO algorithm, completely ignoring the whole delayed ramp functionality. And Z is the LFO speed, I should mention. So let's get that going again. So LFO speed. So if I change the CV going into the ramp time input, so that's a relatively slow ramp, a bit faster all the way up, you can hear the LFO is now basically affecting the note from the very beginning as compared to gradually fading in. And if I turn up the effect of the LFO on the oscillator, you can hear that's a bit more dramatic. In terms of the LFO, well, the different outputs available, that's on one of the parameters. So this is just the ramp by itself. No, it's not. That's the ramp by itself. So now we've basically got a pitch bend at the start of every note. Then we've got different LFO shapes affected by the ramp. That's sine, triangle, square, and then these are the ones that aren't affected by the ramp. Now what's also worth mentioning is that the LFO re-triggers when it gets the X input. So even these LFO shapes that aren't affected by the ramp, they re-trigger whenever they get a trigger. So if you want a LFO that always has a known relationship to the onset of a note, then that's another useful feature. So here, for example, I turn the speed down. You can hear whenever I trigger the note, it goes back to the start of the LFO cycle. Don't notice it as much when it's fast, but it's doing it. And let's put that back down. Other parameters let you control the range of the times that the LFO rate and the ramp time sweep over, and attenuators for the outputs. So there you go, that's the new delayed LFO, or more generally useful LFO with reset and switchable outputs.